Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, October 28th, 2021. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. You'll notice right here the ES backing off the highs from a couple of days ago. Right now sitting below the previous session's midpoint. Yesterday pre-market video we mentioned that the previous midpoint would be very, very important, and if price could get above it, it would open up the upper end of the range of those prices, but it couldn't, and instead fell and closed into the lows. Right now, this little pullback right here is occurring right at the mid again in a downward trend on a very short 2-day basis. And if there is weakness that comes into play off this zone, we may see another move toward that 8-period average. Again, this market remains very bullish, and we have not even hit the 8-period average. We are sitting right on top of the previous quarter's high, so we could see rejection up here at some point, but typically rejection would take a little bit more time to build, especially if the volatility is quite low. So right now, watching the previous session's midpoint, keep an eye on that level, because above that zone opens up a bit more upside. Failure to get above that area, 45.60, means that we could be looking at new lows ahead. 45.63 currently weekly VWAP, and currently seeing a test from below, which again could lead to a bit of weakness in the near term. Now, given this 8-period advance, and you can see the crossover here, any pullback into the zone may offer an opportunity higher. Sometimes a failure of this level, though, could lead to a return as deep as the midpoint of the key range. So 44.21s could be in play. All right, let's take a look here at the NQ. You'll see right here the NQ pushing right into the previous quarter's high. Got the test right on it yesterday, just above the 700 zone, but stayed inside a very clear 2-day range, at least as of right now. And we're still inside that 2-day range, which is now developing into a 3-day range, but 15.5 up to 15.7, that's the zone right now. And we've seen this already play out. Very bullish market. It gets a move and stays sideways for a period of days, then continues higher, sideways, continues higher. This still appears as though the upward trend is still intact, and although we may pull back a little bit or may drop a little bit below that 15.5, it could lead to a proper push through the previous quarter's high. Again, what we're looking for is at some point potentially some reaction to the previous quarter's high. That could lead to a pullback toward the midpoint of that range or somewhere even lower down the road. But right now, still a very bullish uptrending market, and the dip's still an opportunity to buy, but we're not really seeing much in the form of dips, so we're getting sideways price action with an upward bias at the moment. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil. Crude oil right now down about 1%, but has finally given us that pullback we've been talking about. You can see right here that during this uptrend, ever since this low right here in late August, we've seen this thing trend higher at a very nice pace. Bullish pivot trigger zone has come into play multiple times. We've seen rejections on these lows, signals on these lows, various good pullbacks. And what we mentioned before was we needed to see a pullback toward that 82 level and perhaps maybe a flush below it. That could provide a bounce. The last time we bounced, 80.78 was the zone right here. 80.78, that's the level right there. It's the 50% extension from the key range. It was right on the money that day. It was 80.79 that day. Today, the low is 80.58, and we've already bounced back above the previous session's, or rather the current session's midpoint, and are approaching the previous session's low. So right now, early signs of rejection on this pullback. 1, 2, 3, 4-day pullback here. And we know that we've been rotating higher at least 5 or 6 days. So if we put, say, a 5-day range on this, or let's go 5 or 6, let's do 5. If we do this here, we'll see a calculation down here which tells us we're already kind of there because of the big pullback here, but we have been averaging about 6 points at least, sometimes more. So just in terms of this move right here, that is 6 points plus. So if we're looking at the low here being 80.58, 86.50 could be the upside target ahead based off how this market has tended to move after these pullback lows, about 5 to 6 points. So again, if we're going to get about 6 points of price action here, so zooming in right there and bringing this across like that, there's 6 points. And again, off this low it rallies. 6 points off this low it rallies, at least that. Off this low it rallies, there you go. Off this low it rallies. So now you have this low. From that low, will we also go up here and grab that 6 points? So that again would be about 86.50, 86.58 in that zone. All right, let's take a look lastly at gold futures. Gold right now, quiet compression in the range, still an upward trajectory, very slow upward trend. That right there and this right here, and the next move takes you right here, followed by what could be a drop. We've seen this price action before, even recently here, where it continued higher until it hit that high, and then it got into that downtrend where it continued in this low. Very odd price action, but that's how it's playing out right now. So the expectation here again is for more strength here. As long as 1780 holds in the near term, you got a shot for 1835 and 1840. Once we hit that zone, likely a pullback toward 1760 ahead. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trader room. Take care.